James was 50 years old when he decided to learn English. Some people told him, "You're too old to learn a new language." Others said, "It's impossible to become fluent at this age." But James didn't listen to them. He believed that it's never too late to learn. He had always wanted to speak English. He dreamed of traveling the world, meeting new people, and understanding movies without subtitles. But for many years he thought, maybe it's too difficult for me. Then one day, something changed. James was at a cafe in his city when he saw a lost tourist. The man was looking at a map, confused. James wanted to help, but he didn't know how to say anything in English. He thought, if I knew English, I could help this man. At that moment, James made a decision. I will learn English, no matter how long it takes. And so his journey began. At first, English felt impossible. There were so many words, strange sounds, and difficult grammar rules. James started with simple things. He learned greetings like, "Hello, how are you?" and "Nice to meet you." He practiced every day. He repeated phrases while walking, while cooking, and even before sleeping. One day, at the supermarket, he saw a tourist. The tourist asked him, "Excuse me, where is the bus stop?" James's heart started beating fast. But he took a deep breath and said, "Go straight, then turn left." The tourist smiled and said, "Thank you." That moment gave James confidence. I can do this, he thought. James realized that listening was the key to learning. He started listening to English every morning. At first, everything sounded too fast. He could only understand one or two words. But he didn't give up. He listened to English podcasts, audiobooks, and movies every day. He let his brain absorb the language. One morning, after 6 months of listening, something amazing happened. He was watching a movie when he suddenly understood an entire sentence without subtitles. He was shocked. Did I just understand that? That was the moment he realized that listening was working. Ames knew that listening was not enough. He had to speak. But speaking was scary. What if I make mistakes, he thought. Then he remembered something important. Mistakes are proof that I'm learning. So he started speaking every day. He talked to himself in the mirror. He practiced small conversations. He even joined an online language exchange group. His first conversation was difficult. He forgot words, got nervous, and made many mistakes, but the person he was talking to smiled and said, "Don't worry, you're doing great." That gave James more confidence. A few months later, he was able to have full conversations without fear. James knew that he needed more words. So he started reading in English. At first, books were too difficult. But instead of giving up, he started with children's books. He learned words inside sentences instead of memorizing lists. For example, instead of learning just the word happy, he learned, "She was happy because she passed her English test." This way, he remembered words naturally. After a year, he was reading short stories. Then he started reading newspapers and articles. 2 years after starting his journey, James decided to test himself. He booked a trip to London. When he arrived at the airport, he had to go through immigration control. The officer asked, "What is the purpose of your visit?" James took a deep breath and said, "I am here for vacation." The officer smiled and said, "Enjoy your trip." James couldn't believe it. He had just spoken English with a native speaker. During his trip, he ordered food in English, asked for directions, and even made new friends. He realized something. He was not afraid anymore. Looking back, James realized that learning English had changed his life. It wasn't just about knowing words and grammar. It was about confidence, persistence, and believing in himself. Here are the lessons he learned. 1. You are never too old to learn. Age doesn't matter. Only practice does. 2. Listen every day. Your brain will learn naturally. 3. Speak without fear. Mistakes help you improve. Read in English. Learn words in context. And never give up. Progress takes time, but it's always worth it. James' story teaches us one important lesson. If you want to learn English, start today. It doesn't matter how old you are. The only thing that matters is practice. If James could learn English at 50, so can you. Here's your challenge. Start listening, start speaking, and never give up. One day, you will tell your own success story, just like James. Thank you for practicing with me today. See you in the next lesson. Keep going.